Hello boys and girls, welcome to Arts and Crafts. Trees are of course very important because they provide oxygen in our air and they also provide homes to our wildlife and they do all kinds of wonderful beneficial things for us. So it's a good day to remember trees and to plant trees if you have something in your yard that needs planting, or if you happen to have seeds, or even just to take care of a tree that you already have. Maybe water it, it's kind of dry out, so it would be a good time to think about giving it some extra water. And we're going to be making a paper tear tree today. Now this one I did a long time ago and I put little apples on it. You don't have to do that. To make a paper tear tree, all you need is a piece of paper that's going to be the base, and then you'll need brown and green. And if you happen to have orange or red, then you can cut out some little fruits or something to put on yours, but you just need to have these three colors to make the basic tree. I'm going to use some scraps of paper that I had left over from a previous craft class that we did at the library. And I've even got some scraps of brown, and I am going to need my scissors, so you'll need to get some scissors out too to make the trunk. And I just cut it a little bit like that, but if you don't have scissors, you can tear a trunk, and it actually makes it look like wood. And you tear it, and you can kind of tear off the edges to make it look not just straight down, but where it gets wider at the bottom like a real tree, where the roots start to spread out. So you can do it like that, where it's a little bit wider at the bottom. And if you want to add some branches, you can. You can add them like this, and you glue them on, but you don't have to have branches. So I'm going to make mine a little bit shorter than that. There's my trunk, and you'll need glue. We're using as few items around the house as need be because we're trying to do a craft where you'll most likely have the materials just lying around your house. Hopefully you have some construction paper. If not, you might be able to take an old magazine and find pieces of green and brown in the pictures in a magazine. So I put a little bit of glue, not too much where it would get drippy, but just enough, and I even spread it out with my finger, and I've got newspaper under my project so that I don't get glue on my table. And then the next thing I'm going to do is use scraps of green paper and just tear little bits to make the leaves. And you can just tear them any size you like. Mine are kind of small. You could do big ones. You'll need quite a few. And just tear them up. And then you can spread a little glue around with your finger. And then you don't have to put glue on each little piece where it might end up being too much glue. But then you can just go back and stick your leaves on where they'll look like they're real leaves on a tree. And I've got some of mine kind of sticking off like they're blowing in the wind. So you could just push down maybe half of your little piece of paper and let the other piece stick up, and put some under and on top of each other. And that way they look like they're kind of three-dimensional, and you've got leaves of different shapes and sizes. There we go. So some could be new leaves just sprouting, and some could be old leaves that have been on the tree for a little while. You could even use different colors of green. If you have light green and dark green paper, you can mix and match, and that way it kind of looks like the sunlight is hitting certain places on the tree. And it's okay if there's a little white left because maybe you're seeing just through the branches of the tree. I'm going to go a little bit wider over a little bit bigger area. There we go. And you could take markers and crayons and draw a bird's nest, or put a little squirrel on the ground at the base of the tree eating acorns. You can even let your leaves come up off of your paper. See how mine is sticking kind of up higher than the actual piece of paper that it's sitting on. So it's getting full of leaves, getting wider and taller. It doesn't have to be perfectly round, and your tree can look different than mine. It does not have to look just like mine. You can have some leaves falling from the tree, maybe trickling down in the wind or something. There we go. Put a little bit more up top, and then we can get crayons out if you have them and draw something, add to the picture that way. But here's my paper tear tree. I'm going to get crayons out and maybe draw, how about a little tire swing? I'll need a dark crayon to be the tire. You know, some people will hang a tire or another type of swing from a tree. You could even draw some little flowers at the bottom. And if you have colored pencils or markers, you can use those instead. You could add some grass around the bottom, just like that. You could draw a bird or something up there, or a little hole in the tree with a squirrel peeking out, or a raccoon or something like that. Because of course, like we said, trees provide homes for wildlife. Now I've got some books that you can get online as ebooks from hcplc.org. If you've got your library card, go to the website and you can look up Where the Sidewalk Ends. There's a great poem in here called The Tree House, and Shel Silverstein wrote it. He wrote all the poems in this book, as well as the book The Giving Tree. And The Giving Tree is a wonderful book that reminds us of how important trees are. All right, we've got The Great Treehouse War by Lisa Graff. That's also on the hcplc.org website as an ebook. Same with Froggy Builds a Treehouse by Jonathan London. And oh, here's a favorite by Dr. Seuss, The Lorax. That's a great book anytime, and we have it as an ebook. So get out your library card and don't forget to try to make a paper tear tree.